Hey everybody, Harmony DeVoe, Grown Woman Talk. We're here today to discuss a very juicy, hot episode, but we're hoping to educate others on this particular episode. So thank you for those of you who tune in, who have subscribed to my channel. I love you. I appreciate you so much. First of all, I'd like to tell you the opinions that are expressed on Grown Woman Talk are just that. They are opinions. This is grown, adult, unscripted conversation. So for my little shade throwers, I love you. So if you're watching the episode and you choose not to like it, do me one favor. Just get off the episode. You don't have to watch. But for you to make the effort to go in real slow and push dislike shows that you have some serious issues with jealousy. You don't like me. And guess what? I love you and I really don't give a damn. It doesn't matter. Thank you for the views. So anyway, back to Grown Woman Talk with Harmony DeVoe. And on this episode, I have a special guest, a male guest, because for my women, it's always good for me to talk about us, but it's always good to get insight from the male perspective as well. So we're going to talk about, listen, hypersexual versus hyposexual, the difference between the two. We're going to talk about oral sex, one of y'all favorite subjects. We're going to talk about communication with oral sex and other. We're going to talk about poly relationships. For those of you who haven't paid attention to social media, Jada Pinkett Smith and an artist, I forget his name, Augustine, something like that. Anyway, he came out and the little young brother was all shaken up. He wasn't trying to throw her under the bus with the situation. But listen, not judging, not throwing anybody's relationships or sexuality under the bus, but it's definitely an excellent topic that we should talk about, polyamorous relationships. A lot of guys out here, because the ratio of men to women is a trip. It's like 2 women to 1 man all the time, or 3 to 1 with women. Again, this is unscripted, so I don't have factual stuff. I'm just telling you what I feel, what I see, and what I express. But a lot of times men are okay with the fact that women share them, or 2 women are openness. Me? Hell no. I'm old school. I'm heterosexual. I just want 1 man, 1 dangling, and I want him sharing his dangling with other women and all this stuff. But that's me. Some women are okay with it. Some women are swingers, men are swingers. They're open, all of this stuff. So, welcome to Grown Woman Talk. This is a juicy episode. When I come back, y'all, we're going to talk to Mr. LA himself and let him give you his perspective. So, get ready for Grown Woman Talk.
Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk.
She ain't for the young, but the grown, the sexy HD. Harmony, won't you call her, text me now.
Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk. Grown Woman Talk.
She ain't for the young, but the grown, the sexy HD. Harmony, won't you call her, text me now.
Grown Woman Talk.
She ain't for the young, but the grown, the sexy HD. Harmony, won't you call her, text me now.
Grown Woman Talk.
And we're back. Grown Woman Talk with Harmony DeVoe, and my special guest here today is Mr. LA himself, good friend of mine, and we are friend zone friends. You know, men and women can be friends too. But I appreciate you coming on Grown Woman Talk to give us some perspective from the man's perspective. Y'all say hello to my boy LA. Say hello to the people.
Hello, peoples. How you doing? I'm going by LA here. I do want to thank you for the opportunity. I think everybody's opinion counts, and I'm going to give mine. I think I have some experience to offer. You know, having been married in relationships and so forth.
That's what I was about to ask you. Tell us a little bit about you, because a lot of times people feel like you single, you can't tell married people anything, and married people can't tell single people anything. But listen, I'm happily divorced. I've been divorced. I've been single about 9 years by choice. That does not mean that I don't get offers to be in a relationship. I'm just in a place in my life where I'm really focused on pursuing my dreams. And when you get married, a lot of times you give up those dreams for your husband and your children. So I'm a little late bloomer, but I'm at the age now where just life is too short to be unhappy, not have an orgasm, not have a good time. It doesn't mean you want to be with every damn body. It just means you don't want drama in your life. So tell them a little bit about you. You've been married before too?
I have been married before. A little disclaimer, I think that this is really great what you're doing as far as educating people. Anything that we can do to kind of help couples, married couples, people that are on that path, I think is really great to help that, encourage that conversation of intimacy that people do not have. So,
That's true.
Yeah, I've been married before. I'm in my early 40s right now, and I got married at a young age. I have a lot of sisters. I have 3 sisters, mother, stepmother, and a lot of female cousins. So
you got kids?
I do. I have 2.
You got kids. But first, we want to give him a shout out for the beard game. The beard game was on point. Turn to the side. Let them see. Whoa, man! Do y'all remember that episode that I said if y'all can't grow hair and it's don't try to do it. His brother got beard game on point. So just a little bit of the background before we get into it real serious. I don't have my license in sex therapy, but I always wanted to. I'm in my 2nd year. I completed 2 years of my doctorate. I always wanted to get my license in sex therapy and help people talk about different things. People who struggle with their sexual identities, married couples, especially in our culture, because there's a large rate of divorce. People that don't know how to talk about sex in between each other in their relationships, and they're malnourished. Things might have happened to them in their younger years where they might have been abused and they don't know how to talk about it, or just simply with intimacy issues. And so I welcome my boy LA on scene, and I'm glad that he's gonna be a victim and he can talk and be open with us. Okay, so let's get started. First and foremost.
All right, that's right.
You ready? He has no idea what I'm about to ask him. By the way, I don't do scripts, so I won't throw him under the bus. But I like natural responses and reactions. You ready?
Let's go. Let's get it.
Okay, we'll be right back, y'all. We're gonna give our sponsors a little bit of time. When we come back, I'm gonna blast them with a question. Be right back.
Let's go.
From the night before, that back, them grooves, freaky things we do. Ooh, you grab my thighs, up against the wall, beating it doggy style. Sleep, repeat again and again, riding, flipping, gripping down, ripping and flipping and ripping it right. Thank you in your back, that feed that points to that. Damn, I love that view. Me on top of. Every time we. I just love the design of you. I was made for you. I just wanna look at you.
And we're back. Listen, during that break, did y'all go to harmonydevote.com? Have you checked out my music? You know I'm an artist, songwriter. My music is worldwide. Have you listened to my music? I got some good music. I got some dope music.
You got some dope music.
It.
You got some real dope music.
Yes, thank you. I want to give a shout out first and foremost to my producers of Grown Woman Talk, Ben String Studios and V World Uverse. Thank you both. Both teams come together. They work very hard to make sure I look good. So we're going to get on this topic, okay? Because we don't want to be boring and we want to be spontaneous. So, LA.
Talk to me.
You know how to eat coochie?
I like to think I know how to eat coochie.
A lot of men think they know how to eat coochie.
I like to think that I know how to eat coochie.
So you do know how to perform oral sex on your. So I have to ask this for the record. You heterosexual?
I am heterosexual.
Have you ever been with a man before?
Never ever been with a man.
Okay. So I'm heterosexual, he heterosexual. So we gonna have a heterosexual conversation and we not excluding nobody else. No shade on nobody else. We gonna talk from this perspective, man to woman. So you think you know how to perform oral sex?
I like to think I know how to eat vajayjay, which I call it.
Okay, so what makes you think that you know how to eat? How did you learn?
I learned by listening, reading emotions, trial and error. Now, everybody's not worthy of, oral sex for me. That's just my outlook. So, I try to, you can't, and I think a lot of men, they feel this way, or who value themselves. I mean, there are plenty of people that do it, but, for me, I like to be able to give, my woman everything she has. If we're together, I like to be able to spend some time on it, on her, and vice versa. So,
ladies, y'all hear that? You single?
I'm single.
Y'all hear that? He like to do what now? You want to do what? Give her what? Time. Okay, listen, tell us about your first experience with oral sex. How old were you? Tell the truth.
Ooh.
How old were you?
I was between 17 and 20.
And how old was she?
Oh, yeah.
How old is
She
she?
was about 7, 8 years older.
Really?
Yeah.
So paint us a picture without telling us all your business. She had to teach you. I mean, yeah.
Because I've been, in tune, and you gotta really be humble. A lot of guys we don't take direction or because we like to be the pleasers. So we like to know what we, at least think or give you the impression.
Now, all people aren't pleasers. I mean, you have some sexual partners that are givers and takers.
Right.
So when we say pleasers, I've come across in my walk a lot of men that are not pleasers. They're very selfish. They're takers. I'm a giver. When you put two givers together, it makes it kind of challenging too, because you feel guilty when you're pleasuring your mate or your mate's pleasuring you, because you want them to feel good. Right? So your first experience, did you tell her you didn't know what she was doing, or did you played it off?
Because see, I had a lot of play in high school. I had my swag, at a young age, and then a lot. What, I'm gonna tell you this. I think a lot of guys we get our ego, our pride, our confidence from experimental women, right? Every woman, like the Bible said, every woman is not gonna be married.
We ain't bringing the Bible in this. We talking about Coochie. The hell? We're not talking about that.
I'm not perfect.
We talking about fornication and stuff we ain't supposed to be talking about, because we part flesh and spirit.
It's a conversation that can have, so
we ain't bringing the Bible in this.
Okay, we're not. Okay, but every woman is not going to be married. Every man is not meant to be married.
And you ain't supposed to be having sex. Old school.
You're not supposed to be having sex. You're not supposed to be having sex.
But we do. But we ain't supposed to be having sex.
Right. So
your first time. Get back to the.
All right. So my first time, like I said, she was about 7, 8 years older, right? And I had confidence because I was young. When you're young. The young boys wouldn't.
But how did you? Okay, so with that first,
so I'm gonna tell you this.
Did you watch porn to know what to do? How did that whole situation happen?
So I was young. I was young-minded. So I had the confidence. I was athletic. So I had a lot of things to for the long game to bring to the table. However, I was surprised because I kind of went into it kind of rushing. I had the panties to the side and all that, and she was like, "Whoa, wait." I ain't going nowhere. I'm like, whoa, like it really stopped me. And I'm like, all right, this is some new type stuff.
And you got scared.
I mean, it put me on the brakes, I had to pump the brakes, and I was like, okay. So
now what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do? I'm down here now. What I'm going to do?
Well,
what you do?
I followed her lead,
How you follow her lead?
I mean, she got me, took the panties off and so forth. And I started experimenting, And
she educated you throughout the process. Or she just did say, because a lot of times with women, I've been guilty of this. If that is taking place, and one thing that we're guilty of, women chime in, we welcome the comments and the conversation, we don't say nothing. So if you're not doing it right, do y'all say something? Because I have not said something. I should have said something, because I have faked the orgasm in 2 of my life. I'll never do that shit again, by the way. But I was married. But then there have been times I wasn't married and I faked it. But if a guy is down there doing that and you are not pleased, or you saying, "Oh, I hope he go there. Oh, I hope he touch there. Oh, I'm waiting, go there." Instead of just telling him, "Can you go over there? Can you touch right there?" To me, when you have to instruct, you have to talk, it takes away from...
You gotta be vocal.
You gotta be in tune. But I shouldn't have to teach your old ass. You old. I mean, why I gotta teach you? But every coochie ain't the same.
But you can speak up though. You should be, if you're engaging in that, you should already, be vocal and actually talk about it beforehand. You need to talk about being safety, being protected, or you have to have that conversation, and then that's where the late night talk come in, or things prior to, unless you just have a fling. So in this particular case, we were together, of course, she was a little older, so she knew she wanted, a little play toy or whatever, but we were together. So it allowed for that, "Hey baby, slow down," or,
that interaction.
This is good. You have to read emotions. So, by me being a pleaser anyway, I read emotions very well.
But a lot of dudes, this is why I wanted you on the show, a lot of dudes don't. I'm not saying all dudes, but a lot of dudes don't pay attention and understand from those talks that some women may be aroused from physical touch. Touching is very, 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 very important during different sexual acts and even without. You know what I'm saying? It's a mental thing with us. It's more mentally stimulated. And it depends on your love language. For me, on words of affirmation, physical touch. So if you're a brother and I've given you the opportunity to see the left lip of my labia, you better know what the hell you do.
See, so,
okay?
But see, when you say that, you're giving that standard that most guys, they have to come with that ego game. They have to come with that strong game. You can still come with that confidence in that strong game and still be humble. But when you give that approach to men, they're going to come back like, what? Oh,
but most men that say they know how to do that, I'm going to be honest with you, for us,
that's unfortunate.
Most men that always harp on knowing how to eat coochie, they short in other areas. They trying to overcompensate because they got a little dingling. That's what we talk about as women.
You know what?
I'm the quiet ones be the dangerous ones. You quiet, you talk a lot of shit.
It all depends on what kind of evening it is. I mean, you like confidence. How you gonna be confident? You know, I mean, you can be confident in your parents. I mean, you said to be a game. I got strong parents. I like to dress nice. I like to make sure I have my, my money is tight. So I have other ways to present a strong, confident game. But when it comes time to talking, you're not going to, anybody that's so laid back. Because then
you said you got a lot of sisters. How many sisters you got?
I have 3.
And you the only boy?
I'm the only boy.
So and where are you at in that dynamic?
I'm the middle.
So you listen to your sister.
I listen, but me being in the middle, I'm also a pleaser. I don't.
Did your sisters talk about stuff like sex? About me
my
and
older sister and I, we're 2 years apart, and she has a large female crowd. So, in college was the time when I'd be pimped out to a lot of her sisters. So, I'm not a big chaser, So I hear the comments of, oh, your brother this or your brother that. So it fed my ego, but it also made me selective on who I choose.
Right.
So me being selective on who I choose adds up, because you can't take out the queen bee. You take out, if you're a guy and you're around several women, you have to choose who you're going to be, who you're going to be involved with. If you take out, the queen bee, then guess what? You better bring your A game, because it's going to be a lot of everybody else that's going to know if you're performing or not.
So with that being said, some men think that they're good lovers because we don't tell them if they're bad lovers. For me, on this walk in my journey, older in life, I'm very open. I'm very open to talk to my mate to say whether we're compatible sexually or not, or whether it was good or not. I'm not going to sit here and fake it with you. So at the same time, have there been times where you've been with a woman and you don't feel that you performed, or she doesn't feel you performed? Have y'all had that conversation?
Yeah, you have to have that conversation, because the first time, a lot of times, us as men may not perform as well. It really takes anxiety, right? But if you don't understand the anxiety, if you don't understand that, ejaculation can come because your blood is going.
And you've been building up.
You've been building up. But see, a lot of women may not understand it. They just expect for guys to perform off the rip.
Yes, the hell we do.
But you just sat there and said,
how?
You just sat there and said that you understand about getting excited or prematurely. Now, it happens both ways. There can be a lot of women that you have an orgasm, you come right off the bat, because your mind, there are a lot of different things.
Mind, right.
Your mental has to be in a play. You have to feel like he's really into you, right? You need to feel that this guy is going to bring it. He's going to take care of you.
And y'all both seen each other butt ass naked for the first time. And then what if he ain't? What if he?
I know nothing about that.
Y'all, we'll be right back. We'll be right back, okay? Y'all check out my music, okay? Check out my song, Delicious. See if you like it. And guess what's coming soon? The View. Tune in. We'll be right back.
Very good chat. Very good chat.
You shiver, the muscle you flex, or the sweat from our sex. You are so delicious, delicious. You are so.
And we're back. Grown Woman Talk with Harmony DeVoe and my special guest, LA. This is a juicy episode because we get to get raw with it. Again, he has no idea what I'm going to ask him. We are not scripted. You don't have to tune in. You don't have to like it. These are our experiences, our opinions, and the opinions that we express, again, on Grown Woman Talk are just that. It's entertaining, but it's also a thing that we should do as adults, because so many of us, I can't tell you how many phone calls I get from people that are unhappy in unhealthy relationships. They're not happy. They're malnourished sexually, and life too damn short, because you ain't gonna have but 40, 50. You hope you have about 40, 50 years on this planet again. You better live it to the fullest. That don't mean you have to be a hoe. Speaking of which, we left talking about oral sex from the female perspective, male perspective. So I'm gonna ask him, when you give oral sex, what all are you doing? Do you use phalanges? Is there digital penetration going on? Or do you just think, is she just supposed to be ready for you? I mean, how do you do it before, during, after? Is this the appetizer? Talk to me.
So
use hands, fingers.
I like use. I'm very hands-on. I'm like an octopus. I like using hands. I'm everywhere. But I'm always reactive to her. I think it's important for a man to be reactive to her and her needs, because...
So you ain't selfish. You believe in her getting an orgasm.
I believe in her getting an orgasm. Now, I do believe that there's a difference between coming and having an orgasm.
What's the difference?
Well, there's a release, and then there's an emotional release where you're actually in tune, and then that can lead to different things, multiple or other stimulations. So, the thing is, I had a conversation one time where, we're going to talk about, polyamorous relationships and so forth, but I had one.
Wait, you ever faked the orgasm? Tell the truth. Tell the damn truth. You ever faked the orgasm?
I can't say that I faked it, but I know, right? But there are times when you just gotta get the hell up out of there. And
how you get out? You acted like you came with a condom on, and then you was like, I gotta go. At the end of the day, how did you get out of it?
You know what? If she's good, you just kind of slow down. You good.
Now he's speaking. He lied. Have you faked an orgasm in your lifetime? Have you faked it? Be honest.
I can't really say if I have or not, because I know I want to please myself as well. So, but if you have a bad experience, or it's a wrong match, then you just stop.
You do.
You just gotta stop. I mean, when you get older, time, like you said, time is valuable. So,
No, that's the hell right. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel you are? How do you rate yourself as a pleaser of oral sex?
I rate myself as a 9.
Ladies.
Listen, you don't always get it right, but there's always room for improvement. But you gotta know who you're dealing with.
All coochie ain't the same.
All coocie's not the same. And
all coochie don't respond the same.
And so that brings up a good point, because for oral sex, and to have that that orgasm, or have that release, you as women, y'all are like everywhere sometimes.
The large population of women orgasm from oral sex.
Right. Now.
Some don't.
Now.
Some don't. Because I'm one. You be good. Listen, I'm not one of them. I'm not easily pleased. It's a mental thing too. Okay. It's a trust thing. It's a relaxation thing. Okay. And so it does take a very long time in that area. I like it, but it takes a very long time. But I'm one who orgasms faster the other way. Okay. From vaginal sex. So but I like both. I like everything. So if you ain't patient and you don't know what you're doing, baby, let's see, she don't be fake. I know. Just we real with ours. What?
Listen, either way, you're still a woman, right? You still have, mental stimulation plays a part with you, right? Yep. Okay. Foreplay, verbal foreplay plays a part, right?
Before we even get to anything else. Yes. Okay.
So, and also, you're a woman, you have your style, and you have expectations that the man needs to bring to the table, right? So that's a lot that a guy needs to bring to the table, but it also have to be on point to be able to help you to achieve that orgasm that you want. I know.
Same from a female perspective. So even though this is Grown Woman Talk for women, and you're a guest, we also contribute.
So there's certain things that can have you orgasm faster than others. True. Now, for guys, certain guys, this is where some men sometimes come up short. You have to read who you're with and who you're dealing with.
Listen,
you can go down there, you can lick all day, and you can do faster and faster and go up and down until you feel like you know what you're doing. But the faster you go, the more stimulated you can be. But if your mind is if you're not in tune, if you're not on point, like receiving what he's doing,
and where men get
your
this
mind is going to go
shit?
everywhere.
Where they get this nibbling shit? Don't be nibbling on people's vaginas. Are you a nibbler? That's not cute. Where y'all learn that from? Where y'all get that shit from? Porn. Where y'all get that from? Don't nibble on her unless she tell you to do it. Don't nibble.
Porn can be really misleading. Porn can be
nibble.
Porn can be very misleading.
You can die nibbling.
You know,
you will get murdered nibbling. You don't nibble.
You know, but you know that BDSM, what you call it, that BDSM. You know, that's
is that what that is?
No, what I'm saying is some women like that. Yeah, I think that some women like that. They like that aggressive. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something very sensitive. When a guy is doing oral sex, you know, there's a difference between licking the clitoris soft, you know, and slow.
Yes, or neat, or nasty, or
being,
sloppy,
or being hard,
yes.
or being aggressive.
Yes.
So who's to say what night what you ordering that night?
It goes
what are you ordering on
what
Friday?
you said again.
Comedians talk about it all the time. I think one comedian, he said, you know what, Friday night was different from Saturday night. Your mind is looking at see.
So you guys have to be eclectic, and you have to know, especially if you have multiple partners. And listen, wear a condom. Protect yourself. Ladies, protect your damn self. We're not just saying go out here and be fucking raw, because you don't need to be doing all that. But you do need to protect yourself. Even now when you're in monogamous relationships, when you're single, and say you and that person make that decision that you want to be monogamous and only be with each other, that should be a conversation that you have. But a lot of times what we do is we assume, especially with guys, they single, they say they're single, we say we're single, and you go out a few times, next thing you know, boom, we're in a relationship. You haven't had the conversation of, hey, are we exclusive? Are we only seeing each other? Is it only your dang-a-lang I'm sharing, and vice versa? We need to have these tough conversations, and we don't, which brings us to, listen, being monogamous, polyamorous, are you poly, are you open, what are you? And so when we come back, we're going to talk about that too. We'll have some juicy conversation. We got to take a break.